All right, I'm pretty positive I'm recording, but I don't know if I'm getting my volume or everyone's, but we'll find out after the recording. But anyway, so I only
Cool.
think we have not that much time left, so maybe we can just go
Yeah.
around and just do like one total pitch of who you are, what you want to bring, and any questions you might have. And,
Yeah, I've seen on our end or on the portal, looks like we got 29 minutes. So
okay,
I don't know if there's, how we want to go about things, but we could just
well, you're
give,
going. Do you want to kick us off?
yeah, sure. So my name's Chase Escom. I founded Challenge Jack. We were one of the first projects to launch on EOS on the main chain after the Genesis snapshot back we launched in July 2018. And pretty much since then, we've been working on the challenge application, which is an application where people are able to put in crypto and set a instructions for how to unlock it. So it's like an application where people are essentially able to put up crypto bounties. So we've created over, gosh, 9 versions. We've had 9 different releases, and we keep iterating, making the application better. We've gotten over 20,000 downloads. We probably have 10,000 unique users, but currently our server's down. So we got behind on our server bills, and we need to get that back up. And so we made a lot of progress, and we're building, but financing it and keeping it going is takes effort and energy. So that was one thing that we are going to look into tapping into Eden for. So we're whatever funds we would get, we would just use to build this application, which helps EOS. Obviously, EOS needs apps that have a lot of users, and that's going to help. If no one's using the chain, then nothing is happening on EOS. And then I'm not super familiar with what the rules are and stuff, but I know that you guys all showed up today, and so I believe if it works like it did last time, if you make it through this round, you're layer one or whatever. So say if I were to make layer one, then I could throw all you guys at like 100 EOS. I don't know. I think it's like how much you get after the first round, but I have no problem throwing you guys each like 100 EOS or something, just for people that you guys showed up or whatever. So if that's in the rules, I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, that's my spiel, and I'm excited to hear your guys's.
I guess I could go next since I was next on the call. I'm Mark Stair with Tippet. Uh, we also recently won the Ideathon for one of the categories. I think it was Web3. We called it Small Business Accounting, which was to basically create a platform for syncing to QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks. And what it was going to do was create a platform for other people to create modules and things like that. But it was going to take all your transactions that you do on the chain and then push those into QuickBooks, first convert them to US equivalent, and put them into your QuickBooks. Because one of the hard things, with tax season you see now is figuring out, all your taxes, like these little Pomelo, for example, Pomelo donations. If you have to tax those, figuring those out is a challenge. So supposedly we won that category, but I was told that we had like the best score of everybody that submitted ideas for that ideathon that was run by Chris Barnes. And we were seeking funding for that through the ENF Foundation, ENF, and they said it's not appropriate for that because it's got to be it's got to be a business thing, not a public good, like for the chain. So we're kind of waiting for the EOS ventures to kick off, which is supposed to happen at some point, and then we could fund that project. There's not enough people or businesses on EOS to do it as a project, and then, for us to self-fund it like we did Tippet, because it's going to take a significant amount of development effort. So there's got to be enough demand there from a business before we kick it off. So we're going to need funding, and so we're still moving it forward a little bit, going along with some other projects we're doing. But yeah, my pitch is just to I don't know, continue to support the community and whatever. I'm not going to bribe you guys with any tokens, but I've made it to a first round before, but not all the way up before, like probably I think Felix and Reiki have. That's it for me. Felix, you want to go next?
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna be running. I'm just here to vote. So I mean, just a little bit about me. I've been here in Eden from the beginning, going back to the pre trials. Yeah, I'm just kind of wanting to see how Eden progresses. I've been kind of out of touch this last, probably the last term. But yeah, I'd like to see Eden continue to move forward. So I'm just kind of like tuning in and I feel like being an Eden member, at the very least, we have a responsibility to at least show up for the election. And so I'm here, and I will vote. And we'll see how things go. But Reiki, you can go next.
Sure, thanks. So I guess to summarize, Chase, you've got Challenge DAC, you're looking for some funds to help keep it going, and you're also willing to share the love if you get selected. Mark, you're looking for resources to help move the tax aggregator, I guess, is a short term for it, together, because that's really helpful for people. And Felix is here just showing up and being a citizen of Eden. Cool. Seems like there's pretty similar overlap to share love, and maybe we can just do that as a group. We can decide that we can select someone who wants to split funds and help fund these things. But anyway, who am I? I think some of you already know what I'm doing, but what I would like to do if I did get elected and getting some funds would be helping set up the Eden DAO. So I think we're not really coordinated as much. I think Challenge DAC would be able to help with this as well, but I know the DAO's been working with Eden for a while, Haifa DAO that is specifically. I know they have an Eden DAO set up. I can actually show it real quick because why not? I'll just take 2 seconds, and some of you might not know that this thing exists. Oh, never mind, I cannot screen share, but I can share a link here, and you can come find the Eden DAO if you want. But it needs some roles, it needs some quests, and it needs to kind of be filled out so that other Eden members who want to actually participate start earning Eden tokens, and Eden itself could have its own token. It can mean absolutely nothing. It's just a contribution accounting token at the beginning. But then it might attach to the treasury at some point. So say you earn 1,000 tokens, and that's 10% of all the tokens. Maybe you get 10% of the Eden treasury as it gets refilled. So it creates a new way for people to be able to show up and start contributing to Eden, moving our governance and everything forward, outside and in between elections. So that's kind of what I would work on. And I would also like to share the love, because I don't have too much time to work on that, and I love what you guys are all doing. So should I get selected, I don't think there's any problem at all in just kind of split the funding across and help us all move something forward a little bit. Which is really kind of the point of the DAO anyway, is to give us a more nuanced way of distributing funds to more people. So I'll leave it at that, and maybe we can go around and just respond to other people's thoughts and just keep going until we see who we want to pick. So maybe I'll send it back over to Chase.
I'm curious, what's the status of seeds? I keep thinking about it all the time. I'm doing a lot of gardening work lately and stuff like that, and doing a community food forest thing near my property, and just be a cool way to fund people helping. Or I'm doing a lot through Nextdoor where we're exchanging plants. Like I have someone coming over today that's going to give me strawberries, and I'm going to give them some iris plants or something like that. But anyways,
Oh man.
yeah,
I just did a video yesterday with a tool. Does everyone care if I take 2 minutes to respond to this?
yeah. Go ahead.
So Seeds is built on Telos. It's moving to EOS as well. But I guess with IBC coming, it's all kind of the same thing. We built an app. We have key recovery in there, and anyway, 10,000 people that have signed up to use that, a bunch of businesses and stuff. So that's kind of where Seeds got to, but they need a new tokenomics model, and they started their DAO. So they just launched their Hypha DAO recently, and they've been getting coordinated, blah, blah, blah. That's a whole journey. The other thing I was going to tell you is about Local Scale. So Local Scale is also integrated Seeds, and it's a marketplace for you to be able to set up your farmers markets, organize your buyer region, create local circular economies. So they have a marketplace there, a farmer's market there, a house rental there, and a way to create your own local currencies, and then an integration with the Hypha DAO as well, so that communities can set up their own things. I just literally did a call yesterday, so that's just coming online. It's been in the works for 6 years now. And we've been kind of testing it, but now it's like finally not buggy enough that people would probably really enjoy it. It's a beautiful, beautiful UI too, so you can check that out at localscale.org. What I'm working on is a thing called Regen Civics, which is also taking all these tools and then helping literal projects. I can share you a link to that as well, but there's like 13 different projects. So example, like a 4,000 acre one in Nicaragua to a 300 acre one in the States, a 2,000 home one in the UK, and things like that. So these are physical pieces on the earth where there's communities coming together to say, hey, we want to use all these cool tools to do our own governance of how we organize and what we're going to actually do to meet our needs. So grow food, exchange them with tokens, govern it together, all that. So that's what I've been working on the last 2 years. And what brought me into Eden anyway was to use this tool for physical communities that want to organize in different ways to build new economies and to be able to do that. So that's really kind of what motivates me to be here at all. And what's driving me is how do we actually take these tools to build new economies with physical communities. So that's also happening here. So you can follow along with the journey of this at the Seeds YouTube channel. But in short, we're setting up a bioregional economy in the eastern US. So I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. So there's this Katua bioregion here. There's about 15 different projects already who are a part of this, and we're just getting started. So there's an events venue, a co-working space, a couple farms, and things like that. So what we can basically, our goal is to be able to try to meet all of our needs within our alliance so that we can start issuing new tokens. These would be on EOS. We can have our own DAOs. And start trading with each other. And if the dollar fails, it's hopefully just a blip in our lives and not a total catastrophe. So that's kind of the motivating drive for people here, is they know that all the economies are kind of in a weird place. So how do we exit and just start creating our own thing? So we're really putting that into practice here and kind of the real world, if you will. And that's also the overlap with Eden. I think the Eden election process is a really great way for physical communities to come together and select representatives for what they're trying to do. This Eden community itself is a little amorphous because it's kind of like, is this just a worker proposal system with no purpose or what? So I think maybe the use case that Eden's using right now for this election tool is kind of weird. But connected to actual communities who have a purpose of meeting all their needs, I think there's a lot more use there. So that's kind of the quick summary, if that's helpful.
Thanks. Yeah. Do you get pushback because it's crypto based? Because we've got the government clamping down on us like fascists, on the crypto space.
The people I'm hanging out with and that are part of this don't care about that at all. So I've not received any actual pushback from people wanting to use these tools, or even any thoughts or considerations or cares at all. So no, I haven't experienced that.
Yeah, so you got to just build a use case outside of all that. For us, we're dependent for Tippet. We're dependent upon people wanting to join the community, create tokens and stuff, and that's been pretty minimal lately, it seems. So we don't get a lot of requests even for people creating tokens anymore.
I mean, certainly, yeah, I think that's something else that we need a little bit more of is why do someone want to create a token? What does that process actually look like? And then what can you do with it? So that's why I mentioned local scale is okay, if you have a token, you need a marketplace now to actually be able to trade things with this token. So that tool needed to kind of happen. We needed to have a wallet where keys were secure and stuff. So as you guys all know, building tools, I mean, that's kind of been the point of the last, however many years. I think we're finally at the point where enough tools are ready. Now the real goal is, putting all these tools together and showing how it could actually work. So hopefully I have more to speak to that in the next year or so as we really start rolling it out and trialing it. But who knows? It's kind of the start of this phase, if you will. But anyway, I feel like I've taken way more than my share of time, so I do want to pass it back to Chase, and let's go in another circle and give everyone more time for the next. That we have.
So to reiterate, the objective that I'd be looking at is to use the funds to build up Challenge DAC. I mean, I think over the years we put over $500,000 into the project, so we like to keep. We've created a lot, and we like to keep it going. And like you're saying, Mark, a lot of times for these different projects, it can be tough for funding. And I do think it's a cool idea to share the love or whatever. You guys who were layer one, you guys said a couple of you guys were layer one delegates before, right? Correct.
I think a long time ago, ones or not me for the top level. Both you guys, Felix and Reiki, you guys have been chief delegates, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's only my second time participating in the election, but if you get the EOS, you get the EOS the day, as soon as you become a chief delegate, you get access to that first payment that day, right? Or do you have to wait like a week or something?
I believe you can access. Yeah.
Immediate
I think that it like distributes every month, and I think the first month is available upon completion of the first election.
Okay, so I'm cool
with
with
the election.
Yeah, I'm cool with splitting that layer one first payment with you guys, just equal, just because everyone's got their address in there. So if you guys wanted to send me through, I'd be willing just to split that first payment amongst all 4 of our addresses and just send it to you guys. And I mean, yeah, you guys have me recorded and everything. So, I'd be willing to do that. That first layer one payment, just split it amongst all of us. And as soon as I, get access to it or whatever, and sharing the love, and then that's a little bit of something. I don't know what that first payment is. It's like what, 1,000 US or something like that. But so I'm cool with doing that. So yeah, and then I guess I pass it to Mark or.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add. Maybe we could try voting and see if we have any discussion about it. Sometimes it takes a little extra time.
Are you able to vote once, or are you able to vote multiple times on this?
You can continue to vote until the end, I think, and change your vote, from what I understand. So like from how I remember it, you can kind of do a trial vote and see where it shows up.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm willing to do a test vote, so where we have any consensus.
It doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to vote. I'm clicking vote and signing.
Right, you're muted.
I'm just running into UI errors. I'm trying to vote and it's telling me that I'm getting a timeout. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to vote, unfortunately.
Mm. Um, let's see.
But maybe I can vote here in the call, and we can just assume that that works, and then maybe someone changes their vote if that's a critical vote move or not. But anyway, Felix, did you want to bring more?
Yeah, I'd like to hear your vote, and then I'm still holding off to. I guess I'd like to see where everyone's votes are, and then ask a question afterwards. So, Reiki, everyone's voted. I guess if you want to just say it here or type it in the chat if you want,
Um,
or are you undecided? Also holding off.
Sure. I was looking for a way if one member wanted to reach more consensus of everyone here, but I know that takes time because that was kind of the winners of the last election are people who kind of just grabbed up everyone's ideas and tried to aggregate them and be kind of servant leaders, if you will. So that was my, main idea is if someone was gonna, take that route. But it doesn't look like there's a way for us to do that with the four of us and what we're trying to bring. So now I'm leaning more towards what Chase is just saying and saying, hey, I could share the love between us and we can get a little bit of each of our efforts a little bit funded. That's kind of nice. So I'm leaning more towards that. Yeah, so I think Chase is taking my vote at the moment. Mark, I love what you're doing always, and I love you as a human, so you'd be second. And Felix, it didn't sound like you were really trying to run this time, so I think you would be my third bet. Um, yeah, so that's kind of how I'm
Okay.
ranking everyone else if I wasn't voting for myself, and I'm not entirely convinced I would. So that's kind of where I'm standing. Maybe everyone could do that, and we can see kind of a rank plot of where we're all holding on.
Yeah, I'm not involved in EOS as much as I should be to actually be a chief delegate. So I'll vote for one of you two guys instead.
Okay.
How about Reiki? You wanna be a chief this
I
round?
didn't want to necessarily the first time I was selected as a chief. I just was because people were really interested in me bringing that DAO stuff. So then I got selected. It was way more than I anticipated. Gave a ton of time, and it was a lot. So I'm a little bit weary of getting into that position again now with a baby. So I'm not so eager to try to say I'll do that. But if I did get selected, I would happily show up in that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would use it as my time, so I wouldn't necessarily do as much as Chase is doing and split it all the way, because I would use that for my time to set up the DAO. So if I think you guys find the DAO valuable and what that could bring, then sure, and I'm happy to support that. But that's kind of where I'm standing.
Okay. One thing I guess I'd like to add to kind of see whoever I guess will capture my votes. I'd like to see a little bit of or I'd like to have like a commitment on here. I do think I haven't participated, like you said, in Eden in like the last term, but when I was pretty involved, I did find it important to be attending the Eden Fractal because it is, we have community members that are very involved with Eden that's over there. So for me, I think that I would like to see that a commitment to the community of reoccurring calls. So they do it every week, but if once a month, I would like to see that. And if someone can commit to that, and we capture it here on video, you're putting your reputation on the line there. And I think that's probably the best way I can probably add something to Eden right now is to put a little bit of reputation at stake. So if you say that you're going to if you can commit to attending the Eden Fractal at least once a month within these terms, I'd be willing to give you my vote. And it seems like right now the votes kind of are everyone would be fine with moving on. So it's whoever would be willing to take that commitment to serve Eden, because I do think that's another way of serving Eden is showing up to the community and participating. So, I'd vote accordingly.
Why are you referring to the fractal? I thought fractal is kind of like on ice, like on.
So I do think the Eden Fractal is a good, like outside the Eden Fractal, what is Eden doing that's encouraging community participation?
Okay, so
I feel like I could show up to the Eden Fractal and then probably get like it's a community event that, even though it's not officially, but who calls what's official, within this community. I do think it is a good way for me, like if I wanted to tune in to find out what's going on, I could show up to an Eden Fractal meeting and kind of get caught up to speed with, the developments of what's happening within Eden.
So you're saying that Eden Fractal is the most active community for Eden, is that the Fractal one?
Yeah, I would say from what I've seen, I'm not aware of any other like reoccurring Eden events.
And it's once a week, right?
Other than the election. Yeah, they do it every Wednesday at it's like 10 a.m. now CST. So that's Central Standard Time. I think that'd be like 8 a.m. specific time.
Yeah, that's something I can commit to. So I'd be willing to do that, and that's something that participating more in Eden. I think I could be helpful there, just because of all the experience I've gained from Challenge Deck. I mean, a lot of these applications, a lot of these different projects experience a lot of the same issues. So I've learned a lot personally through Challenge Deck over these last 4 years. So being more involved in the Eden community, I think that there's a lot we could learn from what they're doing, and I'm following their stuff, but not as closely as I like. So I actually, regardless, I probably would want to start joining those Eden meetings once a week.
Did you say you would join weekly?
Once a week, yeah, that's not bad. What, an hour a week? Yeah, I can commit to that. And then this is another hour a week, so yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if Chase, if anyone else is declaring like to wanting to serve Eden in that way, I think I've kind of, if no one else, I guess, does, then I think I found my vote.
Yeah, I think Chase is really wanting to show up and bring a lot to this. I wouldn't show up to the Eden Fractal ones just to put it out there. I would do a separate call that's more bringing the community together to launch our DAO. So I definitely think we need like a recurring community rhythm, but I would have it more directed at organizing our own DAO and setting up roles and designing our own quests and thinking about how we're going to issue tokens and having the community discussion kind of centered around that, and do that once a week. So that's what I would bring, but I probably wouldn't attend those calls. So I think Chase kind of beat me out there if that's the goal. Which, again, yeah.
I mean, in the state of Fractal right now, I don't know if you know anything different, but I would, I don't think it's active. So maybe a new approach, what Reiki is talking about, would be better.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the idea of just the reoccurring meetings for Eden, but again, right now, why not work with the community that's doing something, and then if you want to start a new one, go there, work with them, and establish something rather than trying to compete and start your own thing.
All right, we got 45 seconds to vote.
Then I'll vote for Chase. I really like all the commitments he's made. So I'll put that out there. I mean, I can't vote, but I would be voting for you if I could. Unless I can try to figure this out.
Yeah, no, like I said, that first layer 1 payment, I'll just divide it up and I can send it to all your guys' EOS address, and just message me. As soon as I get access to that, I could send it to you guys.
Census. 5 seconds to spare.
Oof. Awesome. Yeah, I'll get this uploaded as long as it recorded well. I'm assuming it did. Any thoughts or questions from anyone else? We have like a minute in here.
Were we able to
Chase?
Yep.
Yeah,
congratulations, like, group, because I think last election for me, that was the first time